The Motorola Edge 30 Fusion is definitely one of Motorola's most premium phones in recent times. And of late, I genuinely think that Motorola is doing a better job with its phones compared to OnePlus, and therefore I decided to compare the Edge 30 Fusion to the OnePlus 10R. Because I think that anybody who's considering the Edge 30 Fusion must be wondering if it's worth paying that extra over the 10R. Well, I have the answer to that question, and if you don't know me yet, I'm Arshad. You're watching Trakin English. Go grab your popcorn and of course your coffee as well, because this is going to be a super detailed one trying to answer every single doubt that you might have. So first things first, the one area where the Motorola Edge 30 Fusion is clearly better than the OnePlus 10R is in the industrial design of the phone. Firstly, it's slimmer and lighter than the 10R, and you get an all glass and aluminum construction. What that means is that you get Corning Gorilla Glass 5 on the back, on the front, and an aluminum metal frame as well. Now the 10R of course has Corning Gorilla Glass 5 on the display, but the entire body is made of plastic, and that's definitely not very premium feeling. While I don't think that the 10R looks bad, but the Edge 30 Fusion is in a different league of its own, considering that it uses premium materials for its build. Now, apart from the fact that the phone is slim, the ergonomics are great, and the in-hand feel of the Motorola Edge 30 Fusion is better. It's also a smaller phone compared to the 10R. The 10R has flat sides, and therefore you get more to grip onto, but I think that the Motorola Edge 30 Fusion is pretty good because of that curved glass on the back and the rear. I really like the tolerances on the buttons of the Motorola Edge 30 Fusion as well. It's got a completely metal build too on the power button and the volume rocker too. The OnePlus 10R is definitely not as premium feeling, and of course that iconic OnePlus alert slider is also missing. Now I really do want to highlight the Type-C port on both these phones. You get the Type-C 3.1 standard on the Motorola Edge 30 Fusion as compared to USB 2.0 standard on the OnePlus 10R, which means that you get faster data transfer rates, and this is definitely better for gamers who like to stream from their phone. Also, for what it is worth, you get IP52 rating on the Edge 30 Fusion compared to nothing on the OnePlus 10R. Now if you've come this far and if you like the kind of content that we make, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon right next to it to get notified whenever we put out an awesome new tech video. Now you guys do know that I'm not really a fan of curved panels over flat panels, primarily because you have to face a lot of false touches. But Motorola has gone ahead and done very good work on the software to ensure that these false touches don't happen on the Edge 30 Fusion. It didn't happen even when I was scrolling on Instagram, which is definitely a good thing, and Motorola has done a good job over here. Now with that out of the way though, the rest of the display battle is a very closely fought one between the 10R and the Edge 30 Fusion. Now you get a larger 6.7-inch AMOLED panel on the OnePlus 10R compared to a slightly smaller 6.55-inch POLED panel with 144Hz refresh rate on the Edge 30 Fusion. But you do get the option for variable refresh rate, which means that the refresh rate can switch between 48Hz, 60, 90, 120 and 144 depending on the content that's playing on the screen. And you know what? In my testing, I noticed that it has been tuned very well, and it switches appropriately at the appropriate times. Now the 10R of course can touch a peak refresh rate of 120Hz, and it can only switch between 60, 90 and 120. Technically, of course, the Motorola Edge 30 Fusion wins out here, but in daily usage, you might not really be able to tell the difference. On the flip side, the 10R offers a touch sampling rate of 720Hz compared to 360Hz on the Motorola Edge 30 Fusion, which is of course technically better, but in my usage, in my time with these phones, I really couldn't tell the difference whether I was playing games, whether I was using it regularly. There's not much to tell the two apart. Now, HDR playback is possible only on YouTube on both the phones. There's no support for HDR playback on Netflix. Now, offering HDR is one thing, but getting the tuning right is very important, and that's where the Motorola Edge 30 Fusion does a whole lot better than the OnePlus 10R. The OnePlus 10R is a saturated mess, and granted that there is an extra brightness mode in the settings of the OnePlus 10R, that really just ends up overexposing the bright spots. It is a software-induced brightness enhancer, which honestly to me looks very bad. OnePlus displays have generally been good, but the 10R is kind of an anomaly out here, especially with HDR performance. It is not tuned well. Now the optical in-display fingerprint scanner is of course really fast to unlock on both the phones, but they are placed too low. Now coming to the haptic feedback, you get a coin vibration linear motor on the Edge 30 Fusion, and you get an X-axis linear motor on the OnePlus 10R, and the OnePlus 10R's linear motor is super tight and precise and controlled compared to the Edge 30 Fusion. The OnePlus 10R's haptic feedback is better. Now you've got a stereo speaker setup on the H30 Fusion with Dolby Atmos support, and the OnePlus 10R stereo speaker supports Dirac HD. Now the channel imbalance on both of these is actually pretty bad, especially with the earpiece sounding really low. That said, in comparison to the OnePlus 10R, the H30 Fusion does sound more dynamic and fuller. I even tested the wired audio performance through a Type-C dongle, and the H30 Fusion definitely sounds more airy, more wide, and it doesn't sound as dark and boisterous as the OnePlus 10R does. I think with the OnePlus 10R, everything is excessive. Whether it's the color reproduction in HDR, whether it's the sound through earphones, it's just like a lot. Overall, I'd take the H30 Fusion over the OnePlus 10R, especially if I was a multimedia nerd. I think that, Motorola has done a good job with the tuning of the audio and video performance. Now the camera setup on the H30 Fusion includes a 50 megapixel primary camera with optical image stabilization, a 13 megapixel ultra wide angle camera which can double up as a macro camera as well, and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. And apart from that, you've got a 32 megapixel selfie camera on the front. But the good thing about this setup is that you get autofocus on both the ultra wide and the selfie camera as well. Of course, you get it on the primary camera too. Now the OnePlus 10R has a 50+8+2 setup along with a 16 megapixel camera on the front. Let's take a look at the camera samples to see which one performs better. The Sony IMX766 inside the OnePlus 10R does capture sharper textures when you take shots in good light, albeit with slight over sharpening. The H30 Fusion's algorithm tends to soften the details a little bit. But I'm really glad that Motorola has improved the HDR performance by a lot. In this indoor shot, it has better control over the highlights on the rear and the bulbs inside the ceiling lights. Plus, Motorola has pulled out more details from the shadows too. Even in the second image, compared to the OnePlus 10R, you can clearly tell how the H30 Fusion does it better. Now, color and contrast is accurate on the H30 Fusion, especially the blues and the greens, which are not accurate on the OnePlus 10R. Plus, OnePlus's image generally looks flat and unimpressive. Now, when you're shooting people though, you get vastly different types of pictures and tuning from both the phones. Motorola is contrasty and not very detailed, whereas OnePlus 10R is flat overall. However, OnePlus's skin tone is closer to accurate here. Motorola needs to fix the red skin problem in a software update, which the company says is coming soon. Against the light in HDR pictures, Moto does it way better. Now, I like the changes in the portrait mode setting in the camera app of the H30 Fusion. It offers 35mm and 50mm portraits like how you get in a traditional camera. The edge detection and algorithm is very well done and better than the OnePlus 10R. Only concern again is the skin tone, which I'd highlighted earlier. Selfies have the same problem with the skin tone, but the color of the t-shirt is superbly reproduced on the H30 Fusion. It is also very crisp, and against the light, it is definitely better than the 10R because of the better HDR performance in general. The 10R is just too saturated. Now, thanks to the larger sensor and better autofocus, ultra-wide shots in daylight are quite a bit sharper on the H30 Fusion. Plus, you get better HDR too. Also, the color science consistency is generally better compared to the OnePlus 10R. Now, the same ultra-wide angle camera on the H30 Fusion can be used for macro shots. And it goes without saying that you get sharper, higher resolution shots compared to the pithy 2 megapixel camera in the OnePlus 10R. Plus, you can go closer for focus too. In low light shots, the H30 Fusion easily beats the OnePlus 10R. It offers brighter exposures, sharper textures, and lesser noise too. You can clearly see it in the samples here. Although for some odd reason, Motorola doesn't offer a night mode algorithm with the ultra-wide, but even then it has better low-light sensitivity and brighter exposure compared to the OnePlus 10R's jaundice-heavy output out here. The same is true for low-light selfies, where you do not get a night mode on the H30 Fusion. But look at the shot, it looks so much better. But this time the OnePlus 10R comes clean with the night mode and looks good and matches up to the H30 Fusion. Video recording chops are way better on the H30 Fusion. Firstly, you can shoot 8K videos and 4K 60fps videos, which is not possible on the 10R. Plus, there's no stabilization even in 4K 30fps on the 10R. The H30 Fusion shoots a wider BT 2020 color gamut and higher bitrate video and audio too. You can also shoot HDR 10+ videos on the H30 Fusion. You can judge for yourself when you see the samples.
Now I'm recording a 4K 30fps video on both these phones.
And with the front camera, again, you can shoot 4K 30fps videos on the H30 Fusion, which tops out at 1080p 30fps on the 10R, and of course the quality is better on the Fusion.
So you can shoot 4K videos using the front camera on the Motorola H30 Fusion.
Except for the issue with facial tones, I think Motorola's camera is more versatile and technically capable compared to the OnePlus 10R. I like the improvements that Motorola has done to the HDR algorithm out here, which was a concern for me, and that is something that I've raised in my previous Motorola reviews. If you guys want to see a comparison with any other phone, do let me know in the comment section below. Now coming to the performance, the Dimensity 8100 inside the OnePlus 10R is one of my favorite system on chips this year. In comparison, the H30 Fusion has last year's Qualcomm flagship chip, the Snapdragon 888 Plus. Rest, you get LPDDR5 and UFS 3.1 storage on both the phones, but the H30 Fusion is available only in one variant, which is 8GB plus 128GB, so keep that in mind. Overall, when it comes to performance, the OnePlus 10R does beat the H30 Fusion. I got higher benchmark scores on Antutu and Geekbench, and in my favorite 3D Mark Wildlife stress test, the GPU stability score was much better on the OnePlus 10R compared to the Motorola H30 Fusion. Plus, it runs cooler too. But notice this: the H30 Fusion loses slightly less battery life compared to the OnePlus 10R, and Motorola says that it has tuned for battery efficiency. But Motorola also says that they will push out an update for better performance. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed. As for the actual gaming performance, thanks to the flat display on the OnePlus 10R, I really enjoyed playing on this phone, and you get sustained gaming performance with less throttling too. So yeah, when it comes to gaming, I think the OnePlus 10R is a better phone compared to the H30 Fusion. But if you're not an avid gamer like me, then a couple of sessions of Apex Legends shouldn't really trouble the H30 Fusion. It doesn't run too hot. While the thermal efficiency and performance is better on the OnePlus 10R, the H30 Fusion for short bursts of gaming, it doesn't run too hot and runs fairly stable too. So I was happy with it, but I know that a lot of people love to play games for longer, and for them the OnePlus 10R would be better because it wouldn't throttle as much. Now, as far as call quality and network performance goes, both these phones are fantastically stable with current gen 4G networks, and the earpiece sound is also very good on both the phones. Plus, there's support for 4G carrier aggregation and a ton of 5G bands for when 5G hits the country later this year. Now, the OnePlus 10R has a larger 5000 mAh battery compared to the 4400 mAh unit inside the H30 Fusion. So technically on paper, that's a win for the OnePlus 10R, but the real life performance is different. So after the adaptive battery started understanding my usage, it was consistently giving me 6 hours and 30 minutes of screen on time, and I have a moderate to heavy usage on a daily basis. In fact, sometimes it was even higher, and this is what Motorola is doing with the performance tuning. It's offering you better battery life. In comparison, the OnePlus 10R is not too bad. The 8100 is actually a very good chip as well when it comes to battery performance, but the OnePlus 10R, which used to give me 6 hours of screen on time in the beginning, is now giving me 5 hours 30 minutes. I think that the battery life has taken a hit after the updates. I've generally noticed that phones with stockish Android and that adaptive battery setting sort of learn your behavior over a period of time and offer you better battery life. So yeah, so with updates, I think the H30 Fusion should actually get better compared to the OnePlus 10R. So in layman terms, the OnePlus 10R lasts me for about a day with 5 to 10% of battery life left at the end of the day, whereas the H30 Fusion can easily last me 1.5 days. As for the charging speeds, you get support for 80-watt charging speeds on the OnePlus 10R, which charges from 0 to 100 in about 30 to 33 minutes, whereas you get support for 68-watt charging on the H30 Fusion, which takes about 40 minutes. Technically, it's of course a win for the OnePlus 10R, but it's only by a slight margin. That 8-minute difference doesn't make too much of a difference to me. If it does to you, let me know in the comment section below. Now, both these phones come with Android 12 with their own skin on top of it, and OnePlus and Motorola both promise 2 years of software updates and 3 years of security updates. But OnePlus has been slightly more reliable with its software updates compared to Motorola, and Motorola is hoping to change that. As for my UX on Motorola versus Oxygen OS 13 on OnePlus 10R, I am clearly on my UX's side. I really like the tweaks that Motorola does with Motorola's action gestures. I find them very, very useful, and I like the way the personalization has also been tuned now. Just the way the whole UI has been designed with the right kind of fonts, the right kind of animations, and the right kind of, the whole look itself looks very, very premium and classy now. I'm completely besotted by Motorola's version of stock Android, and you've got those extra features like, Ready For, which basically can cast your screen onto a bigger screen for when you want to use it as a desktop. And this time around, Motorola has also upgraded ThinkShield with a physical chip, and it's called Moto Strongbox to secure your data and for better physical encryption as well. The security aspect of Motorola phones is highly underrated in my opinion. Oxygen OS in its current form is just a weird offshoot of ColorOS. It is smooth, it is fast, but it doesn't feel as polished and refined as Oxygen OS of the past. And my UX from Motorola sort of takes Oxygen OS's position for me. To me, the H30 Fusion is the better phone compared to the OnePlus 10R, whether it's the design, the display, the camera, or the software experience. The H30 Fusion would be my phone of choice. The phone is definitely meant for someone who wants a premium experience and almost all the features that the more expensive Motorola H30 Ultra offers. Moreover, I personally have a soft spot for Motorola phones because they just feel more slick, and now with this new design, it feels even more refined. Anyway, alternatively, I can understand why somebody would pick the OnePlus 10R because of course it offers better gaming performance and better overall performance too. And apart from that, it has a more reliable, history of software updates. And the OnePlus 10R's advantage is that it's been a while since it was launched and currently it's cheaper than the, Motorola Edge 30 Fusion. So anybody who wants a good bargain, the OnePlus 10R will definitely be the better option. So which side are you on? The Edge 30 Fusion or the OnePlus 10R? Let me know in the comment section below. Until next time, this is Eshad signing off. Keep tracking and stay safe. Now, if you've come this far, these kind of comparisons. Can you guys figure out what he's selling? वो क्या होता है?
मतलब लंबे वाले
एक सेकंड बाल बेच के बर्तन बेचता है। तो मेरे डॉगों का बाल तो गिर रहा है, अभी शेडिंग सीजन है। नहीं अरे anyway, now if you've dude, that is so funny. I had no idea this. I don't know if this will go on video or not. We're just talking about somebody was yelling, I think a salesman, and he's apparently taking hair for bartan, which is utensils. So you can give hair and take utensils from him. Nothing to do with the Motorola Edge 30 Fusion though. Anyway.